Someone told me to take turmeric for like my stomach inflammation because I had surgery almost a year ago and this still have inflammation. And I added it in my smoothie and added too much of it. And now I'm sick. I'm like, what did it do? I'm guessing it might have like flushed out a crazy amount of like bacteria in my body and it just released.
Sheesh.
I know, baby is struggling. But I
But
have
you
my
look
tea.
fabulous.
Hmm?
And you look fabulous. Can you see my
Um,
eyes? Are they
no, not really.
okay?
No, it's so cool. Where did you get
Thank you.
these from?
Thank you. I got these from Shein.
Oh my gosh.
And Duracell, the name Duracell came from somebody, my classmate in 6th grade, and
Hmm.
he was like, "What's your name?" I'm like, "Daryl." He's like, "Duracell." I'm like, "Great, cool."
Let's rock with it. Why
Yep.
not? I love this.
This is cool to be
Oh
here
my gosh.
on your podcast. I am just blessed. Basically unbothered. We got so much to talk about.
Yeah, we do. So let me launch our intro and we can get right into it. I'm dead. This episode is brought to you by Claimed & Co., a full-service digital marketing and social media agency built for future-focused brands. Born in Detroit and serving clients worldwide, Claim & Co. helps founders and business owners turn bold ideas into powerful online presence. Whether it's social media management, email marketing, or high-level brand strategy, they're not just posting content, they're building momentum. And if you're not quite ready to hire an agency yet, start with their CMO audit. This is the deep dive, the let's figure out what's actually going on moment. Claimed & Co. will audit your entire online presence and give you clear, strategic recommendations before you invest another dollar in marketing. It's normally $497, but listeners of this show get 50% off because clarity shouldn't feel out of reach. With 19 years of marketing experience and 7 years leading Claimed & Co., they know what it takes to build brands that last. If you're a founder, business owner, or a woman ready to elevate your personal brand and create a healthier, wealthier business and life, this is your sign. Visit Claim & Co. and take your first strategic step forward. All right. Internet's doing its thing. Hello, hello,
Love that.
hello. Welcome to another episode of Basically Unbothered. Today we are joined by Duracell. You want to say hi, give the people a little tea on you and who you are and what you do.
What's up, y'all? I'm Duracell. I'm just playing with these lights. So I am in the Metro Detroit area, and
Hmm.
my real name is Daryl. Some of you may know me for marketing, some of you may know me just for being that excited guy. But I am now building up this music brand, and Duracell is an authentic name. I got it in 6th grade from a art classmate. He was like, "What's your name?" I'm like, "Daryl." He's like, "Duracell." And I was 11 years old. I'm 28 now. Don't tell anyone.
Mm.
No. And I I got that name at 11 years old. Got my first email, which was Duracell100 at yahoo.com. It was real. It was authentic. I released music in October of 2023.
Hmm.
So, you know, I I I released music as Daryl T. Dennis. That's my government name until that. And then I wanted to really pick a pseudonym and pick a brand and pick a name, and I chose Duracell. 2 R's. Duracell, 2 R's.
I love it. I also have like a pseudonym, and everyone's like, well, why do you have a pseudonym? And I just remind them that, I love separation between who I have to be on camera and who I am in like my personal life. And I want that separation. So like my families know me by my government name. And then Blake Gabrielle is my like official like pseudonym name for me as a person on social media, on my books and everything. And then Gabby is kind of my podcast name and a nickname from Blake Gabrielle. And so I feel like I'm Prince a little bit. Like I have a whole bunch of different names.
I love that. It's getting into the alter ego, you know?
Hmm. You need one.
Yep.
It helps.
I love Duracell. I look up to him.
Do you?
Yeah, and I love Blake Gabrielle. You are gorgeous, you are sweet, and I have met you in person and I know the soul and the heart that's going is just so awesome.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I try. I'm not always the best at it, but I try. So what's been going on? How's your week been? You've been having like back and forth weather in Michigan, which is also probably why I'm getting sick, but how have you been feeling about it?
I'm actually drinking lemon ginger or ginger lemon
Mm.
tea right now. And
Mhm.
you know, I had a little bit of a sickness when the weather first started getting pretty cold, but I am now I'm definitely ready for warmer weather. I did check the weather. It's supposed to be in the 50s, I think by next week or the week after. But why is it so
Mhm.
cold? What is
Oh my
going on?
gosh. I hate it here. I was having now I some of my regulars, one of my regulars, he lived in Denmark, right? So cold there. And even he's like, I'm kind of over winter now. We're at the place in winter where it's too much. We don't want to wear jackets anymore, which is also probably why people are getting sick because we're just over wearing 17 different layers. And I found out that apparently people are wearing layers under their jeans and stuff. And I'm like, "What is this?" And they're like, "Yeah, don't you wear like Under Armour or something under your a thermal layer under your clothes?" And I'm like, "No, I wear my clothes. What do you mean?"
That is the layer.
And then I found out that that's apparently not the haps in Michigan. And born and raised in Michigan, but my mom is from St. Thomas and I have island blood in me. So the cold is just not, I hate it here when it's cold. I'm sh-
The air is dry. You know, I did do another I think they're a brand, Long Johns. You ever heard of Long John?
Yes. Yeah.
I pull those out once a year, and it is
Hmm.
during the Detroit Thanksgiving parade. My mom always has us go, and when I say, and it's in November, so it's
Yeah.
like not even the peak cold, but it's just
Hmm.
so. But no, not wearing them every day. I don't know about that.
Yeah. I was like, I don't know. I just told my dad to grab me some because of also when I work at the brewery, I have to wear jeans a lot. And I'm realizing that my skin doesn't really like that all the time, especially in the cold. It's not like smooth and soft against my skin. So like rubs up against it weird. And I'm like, no, no, this is not what I want at all. So I'm like, it's been a struggle, but I'm making it through. It's a good thing that I make my own tea. I actually might add some mint to this tea because I want a little bit more
Cheers.
mintiness to mine. So cheers. Yeah, get a little sip because we're about to get into some tea. We are about to get into our pop culture roundup. All right, Unbothered fam, let's talk taxes for a second because I am very particular about one thing. I like to get my taxes done early and out of the way so I can be stress free for the rest of the year. No last minute panic, no scrambling, no vibes being ruined. That's why I want to put my unbothered fans onto SSB Legacy Tax Services, LLC. Samantha is a small business tax professional whose whole focus is getting you the maximum refund while making the process clear and easy. She also offers cash advances up to $7,500, $75 referral bonuses, and actually takes the time to educate you so you know what's happening with your money. And because we are all unbothered together, I'm going to give you an in. If you text unbothered to 586-345-1055, you will receive $50 off your tax prep fees. Early, easy, stress free. Just how we like it. If rest is something you're learning, not mastering, Pure Tifa Cafe was made for you. Books by indie authors, hand blended teas, candles, and rituals you can take home with you. It's a bookstore, a holistic self care space built for soft moments and real life. Visit puretifa.com to shop now and use code UNBOTHERED at checkout to receive 10% off. Pure Tifa Cafe. Take the cafe home. All
We
right,
need
our
like a jingle
first
song.
topic of oh, our last podcast we were talking about jingles and how we need to bring jingles back. The
You
way
know, you
you
haven't.
just leaned in, like, what do you mean? I'm here to
You
make the
know,
jingles.
okay. Now, I would love to help out.
Maybe that's what you're like. Your new social media like gimmick is going to be is making jingles for things. I would love that. Thank you. I'm great at coming up for ideas for other people. Myself, not so much. Other people, I got it. Also, I keep a little journal myself from my notes.
What color is yours?
This is my mini one. It's just like plain.
That's cute.
Yeah, I
Oh,
named her Midi Mini because the brand is Midori. So she's just my little cute tag along.
what do you? How do you spell it?
Midi, Midi. Oh, Midori is Midori, I believe. It's a Japanese notebook brand. Or like journal. I'm very into my journal era right now.
That's good. You seem like a very well balanced, chill person. We met in person, uh,
hmm
in Royal Oak, and you just seem so cool, calm and collected. I can tell you journal.
Thank you. I'm glad I come off as cool, calm, and collected because you should go ask my coworkers and they'll be like, no, not at all. But I let them see like the absolute worst of me. And I'm also a different person when I'm in the industry atmosphere. But let's get into our topics before we get because I could talk about that all day. Our
This is
first
round two.
topic, yeah. Our first topic is that the beehives are gonna be happy, not happy, I don't know, but Beyonce is bobbing. Beyonce got a baba. She got a baba out here just I am this I'm not a big Beyonce fan. I've said it many times. I have like no hate for Beyonce. I just her music stopped aligning with me a long time ago and I think that she pivoted from making music that was for like about her and she pivoted to more making music to make the money. And there's always like a couple of songs on an album I'll love and those are the songs that'll feel a little bit more real to me. Um But Beyonce is notorious for not really changing up her vibe, right? So think about Cowboy Carter era. She didn't really, and I wanted her to fully embrace it. I wanted Beyonce to come out in a flannel and you know what I mean? And she still did. I mean, she still had her jeans and flannels, but she still did her like pop star leotards. So even when she did the music video that was showcasing all different types of black hair, her hair was still the same. And that's one of the criticisms that I've given. Apparently she's listening to us because she done changed her whole look.
Yeah.
And you know what? I cut my locks a couple of months back. And I've been noticing that this is a trend that's happening right now that a lot of people are getting rid of their long hair and just kind of embracing short hair. Now, I don't know if she really cut her hair because it's Beyonce or if she, threw a wig on.
Don't hate me. I'm just kidding.
I
You
mean,
know, mhm.
it makes sense. Like you want to keep your hair long, but I don't know. Have you seen the pictures of her, Bob?
I have, and I thought I had saw her with the bob during the Cowboy Carter visuals when she was doing it was like an interlude. Safe to say I'm the
Mm-hmm.
biggest, the largest, and
Mm-hmm.
she was doing the Shamar thing. She had a bob there, and it was just interesting to see because it was I think it was blonde. It made her look
Mm-hmm.
younger,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm like, it just shocked me to see her in a bob again. We haven't seen Beyonce with short hair in a long, like I think it's been over a decade, maybe.
Yeah.
You know,
I was gonna be like almost ever.
I love what you have to say. I love your criticism. Now, I will say
Mm-hmm.
this. I tell people that my stage presence is a mix of Prince and Beyonce.
Okay.
So, and I'm throwing Michael Jackson in there. I I think that Beyonce for sure. So I look up to her. I love her. That's my
Mm-hmm.
girl. Now, do I listen to? Am I very eclectic? Yes, is she is I don't wanna say I my brain changes all the time.
Mhm.
Um, when it comes to, like, switching up, I totally know what you mean. I feel like she switched up for the Beyoncé Bowl because she didn't sing any of her previous songs, but then we were thrown back to, like, Crazy in Love, and even though she didn't, like, fully perform that song, it just was like, I know what you mean. She gave us country, but
Mhm.
there probably could have been some, like, extra icing on that, on the last round, of the cake. It was good, it was country, but and a lot of people were saying, like, "Is this album even country?" You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. My
I th
response to them though would be, was Taylor Swift even country? Oh, I don't care. The Swifties can come after me. I don't care. If you're gonna criticize Beyonce's music for being country or not country, then you best assured include Taylor Swift in that conversation. And low key, also, if we're gonna have a conversation about that, again, I'm not even a Beyonce fan, but Beyonce's had more hit country stars on her one album than Taylor Swift had in her entire career.
Beyoncé, I think the thing that makes I think it's so interesting. I think it was a country album, but
Mhm.
I think it taps into experimental too,
Mhm.
because a country album to me sounds just like one thing, you know? Taylor Swift, I let's talk about that later. But anyway, I think I liked Love Story Taylor Swift, but like when she did the Bad Blood, that was cool. That was her getting way into pop. Like she was straight up just a pop star at that point. But I
Mhm.
definitely miss Love Story Taylor. Even though that probably strings like a more of a pop esque
Mhm.
with a country swing, you know?
Mhm.
Um I think that they're both very smart, very talented, and they both have a place in my heart. I can't wait to see what the new era is with Beyoncé.
Mhm.
A lot of people are speculating rock. One thing that I do love, like I was saying, experimental. So now
Mhm.
this ties into me. I'm alternative
Mhm.
pop, you know? So that means like being alternative first, that already like that genre title is letting you know, oh, this is an eclectic bag. But like having pop as my focus lets you know, okay, this is upbeat, this is high energy, like this is probably gonna, even if it's about a breakup, I'm probably still gonna feel like good about the song because of the music.
Mhm.
And I one thing I really like about the Cowboy Carter album is that it is country, but it's like to me, it's like alternative way more than country because
Mhm.
it was just a roller coaster. She's rapping, she's singing country, she's singing on to it was just like there's so much going on in this album. Um, are you excited for Act 3?
For what?
Oh, for Act 3, I'm so sorry.
Oh, like Act 3 for Beyonce? You know what? I would love to see Beyonce get in like, this bob doesn't make me think of rock, although I can see why it does. It makes me think of, like, a grown and sexy era, and although I will say that the music, I wasn't a big fan of her, like, house music, but I do think that she had the most fun with it out of everything that she's been doing recently. I think that era was really good for her because, if she, I'll say, is very like close knit, right? She wants to keep everything close to the chest about her own life. So she doesn't necessarily write about a lot of that anymore. And one of the beautiful things about house music is that you can get away with being a little bit more obtuse. And only using, you can use a few words or a lot of words, or you can tell other people's stories a lot better with house music. And I think that that was something that I was really enjoyable, whether I liked it or not, to see her get into her era. My mom is a huge fan. Her best friend is a huge fan. They dragged me to the movie. I thought the movie was great. My only criticism was that you didn't know anything about Beyonce when you left for real. But
Mm.
that's her right. But I would love to see her. I would love this bob to signify like I'm a mom, I'm in my grown, and I don't there's you don't have to slow down, you don't have to change who you are as a mom, but we all evolve in our lives. And I would like to see an evolution from Beyoncé, not just a change of genres, but like a full evolution from her. I think that would be really cool to see.
I think it would be too, and perhaps she is symbolizing that and getting us ready for this new thing. It does give grown and sexy too, because what she was wearing while she was doing that, um, let's see. I'm trying to see if I can find that little interlude. Safe to say I'm the biggest Beyonce interlude. It was when she was like picking up the Staples building, or no, she was picking up the Sphere, and then the Sphere was like, yeah, don't do this. Was this a bob? Okay, so this her bob
Hmm.
reminds me a lot of this. Like
Hold on, I'm looking. Wait, it went away. Yeah, yeah, I see what you mean.
that
But like
is very.
it's yeah. But do you notice, like, if you pay attention to the new, like, photo she posted with the bob, one of the other things I noticed is the vintage filter on it. And there's,
Oh,
like, a vintage filter. She's in high-waisted jeans and this kind of beautiful wrapped off the shoulder shirt. Let me see if I can share it with you. Oh, it went away. Hold on. Share screen. Screen. Beyonce Bob, allow, share. So it's kind of like this, right? It's
mm.
even shorter than when she kind of did the like wet wavy bob or whatever she was doing. Tell me this is not like she looks, you're right. She looks so much younger, but so much more mature at the same time. It really, and then the vintage kind of filter singles back like old glamour. She is definitely to me giving old glamour.
She's giving $1 billion here for
Yeah,
sure.
effortlessly.
I love Beyonce. Okay. I used to like watch Single Ladies every day. So this was when I was probably like 9 years old, maybe
Mhm.
10. I think I was 10 years old, right before going to Royal Oak Middle Schools and all that stuff, going into suburban schools. I feel like that's why I'm gay. I'm just kidding. No. Anyway, no, I used to watch Single Ladies. I loved her voice. I love her dancing. I want to show you
Mhm.
something too.
'Kay.
I love Michael Jackson's voice. I thought it was a woman. I had a little MP3 player
Mhm.
and it had Michael Jackson, The Way You Make Me Feel. I'm like, well,
The
this sounds
way you
good, but then I like,
make me feel, way you make me feel, the way you turn me on, the way you turn me on. You knock me off of my feet now, baby.
lonely days. Okay, you know what? Listen, if we were in
Jamming.
person,
Jamming.
I want to show you something real cool. So,
Okay.
this is what I mean by that mix of Prince and Beyonce. So, this is my website. You see the guitar,
Mhm.
band
I
leader.
love the guitar.
Thank you.
Ooh, is that a bass?
Yeah, I have a whole band. Now, this is the Beyonce part, and
Yeah.
even Prince
Oh,
too.
that's single lady vibe right there.
Oh my
You're
God.
welcome.
Look at it. Look at this. Oh, look at that body. Oh! All right. Okay.
I
I'm sorry.
No, you're right. I love it. But yes, I'm to close out a little bit. I am so excited for this new era in Beyonce's chapter for everyone. Again, I'm not a huge Beyonce fan, but it's like I'm not a huge LeBron James fan, but I always give credit where credit is due. And that's just the kind of person I am. Whether I like you or not, you get credit if you like, regardless. So I'm very excited to see this new era, and I cannot wait what it bring like to see what it brings. But we're gonna get to our next topic, and this is a topic I love. I've been commenting a lot about women in rap. And I've been very critical about it, stemming from like Nicki Minaj and the era that Nicki Minaj caused where you couldn't get into rap as a female, especially as an African American female, if you weren't body yada yada, right? And that's something that unfortunately Nicki Minaj did pave the way for female rappers to get in the game, but she only paved a very small window, right? And then there's all these amazing other female rappers that don't really get as much notice because they're not appealing to the male gaze. Enters Doechii. And it's funny because there's songs, Doechii had like a big upcoming this last year. And there's songs of hers that I heard and listened to and did not know that they were Doechii. And now I'm banging Doechii and I love her. And I loved her performances. I love the way that she exudes, like, kind of like her body and everything. You can tell that she's really just in her own creative energy, regardless of whatever she's wearing. She's doing it for Doechii. But Doechii has recently came out as a lesbian, and I love this. I want more lesbian rappers, female rappers. I guess if you're a lesbian, you're a female, but you know what I mean.
Gay. That's what I hear. No, I'm just kidding. No, that's I as a now I am in the LGBT rainbow family, and
Mhm.
I don't hide that from anybody, especially now at this point. I'm
Mhm.
28, and Doechii. I love Doechii. My first time discovering Doechii was when Crazy started to come out, and
Mhm.
it was this song called Crazy. It's super she's like rapping, but she's mostly screaming, and
Oh my gosh, I have to
it's
hear this immediately. I'm gonna look it up as soon as we get out of here. Putting on a sticky note right now.
it's crazy.
Okay.
And I had saw her when I first started using TikTok in about 2023,
Mhm.
maybe 2022. I had, like, just seen her. She was this gorgeous black girl, and
Mhm.
she was just doing her thing on the stage, and I knew she was a new upcoming artist because she was just on TikTok. She wasn't blowing up the way she was, but I had just discovered her. Saw she was playing at festivals, so I just was watching her YouTube videos, just seeing now to see her doing her, like, own thing, like a tour, like,
I know.
she's grown, and she does exude her body. That body is body yaddy yaddy. She's beautiful, and she's so playful too.
Yes. There's a, like, not seriousness about her that is interesting to, like, be able to experience. Like, you have fun listening to her music, and it's something that I've really been enjoying. I've been enjoying her performances, I've been enjoying her music. I love that she tapped in one of my favorite K-pop stars in the K-pop group. I love that for me. Um, I have a list of, like, duets or, like, artists mixing together that are top favorite, and her song with, Jennie, love, 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 love. She to me, she is changing the game of female rap again, you know? And for some people, so I also align with the LGBT community. I don't like labels. I'm just queer. I am who I am. I do what I do. Mind your business. But side note, my mom goes, "So what does queer mean?" And I was like, "It just means I'm queer, mom. So does it mean that, like, you're a lesbian? Or are you bisexual?" And I'm like, "It means I'm queer. It means that I choose not to align with any of those things." My mom is so, like, she's so accepting, but so, like, she doesn't know what's going on. And so she's always asking me questions to try to, like, because she supports the community. My first
Mm.
pride walk that I did in Ferndale was because of her. Like, I went with her. It was a color run. She goes with me every year I wanna go. And this was way before I even knew, like, I didn't know I was queer to about I didn't I didn't come out as queer until I was in my 30s. But my friends knew, like, my friends would call me a noodle or whatever. Um, it mean it means straight until what?
Love it. Oh my gosh.
And so for me, that's one of the reasons why I never really felt like I can identify with anything because, nothing. I was exploring, like, there is, oh, I forget what the name of it is, but it's basic, like, you're hetero, but you're open, and then there's one where you're, um, homo, but you're open. I just can't remember what the name, because there's so many names now, and the more names that came out, the more confused I got. But I've been identifying as queer, and to see queer rap representation in rap, and it's not stigmatized, it's not putting someone in a box, because we've had the brat, we've had other representation, but they've always been forced into this box of the way they have to look and the way they have to rap. And like you said, Doechii is just really playful. And she is paving a way for, like, you could have guessed that she was, or you couldn't, like, you would have never known. she's creating, she's making what more lesbians kind of look like, not fitting into like the lipstick or the, whatever. She's making it more normalized that you just are what you are. You don't have to look the part.
Yep, and I think she's authentic. I think she's
Mhm.
truly just being herself, and her impact on rap. I like that you said she's changing the game. You have
Mhm.
some great elaborations. So I when I listen to Doechii, she is just
Mhm.
authentically like hard. Like
Mhm.
I be when I listen to Doechii, I feel like I'm ready to fight. When I listen to Nicki Minaj,
Mhm.
I feel like I'm ready to argue. And I love Nicki. I used to want to be Nicki Minaj, low key. But, Nicki gives me like, I'm ready to be a bad bee and I'm ready to tell you what it is. Doechii gives me, I'm about to go crazy and I'm about to, and then her being like a swamp queen, like your
Mhm.
music video was made in the swamp. I love you, Doechii. Oh my gosh.
She's she's so authentically her, and I used to like Nicki Minaj and other people's songs. I've never been a big Nicki Minaj fan, so I'm living on cloud 9 while everybody is hating on her. Ugh, let me tell you,
You gonna
I'm
get
on
in
cloud
trouble.
9. Everybody used to come for me, and now I'm like, who was right this whole time? Um, that being said, though, one of the things that my biggest criticism about Nicki Minaj was is that she was never authentic. You just never got that authentic from her. She changed her rap style to be popular. She changed her entire body. She got surgery, and it's kind of like, what did you expect? She changed everything about her to please you guys, and she's going crazy now. So. But what did you expect when you don't have a sense of identity? That's what's always going to happen to you. And I think that that's the difference between Nicki Minaj and Doechii is Nicki Minaj's identity was into the male gaze and into what she thought everybody else wanted from her. And Doechii is just giving you who she is. She a little unhinged. I love that. We need more unhinged women in our lives. We need more unhinged people. I don't want to say that because unhinged men be doing weird stuff. They be on a whole
Unhinged.
different. Unhinged men be doing.
It's the testosterone. That's why. Everyone can be unhinged, but
Yeah.
for us, it's the testosterone. We be I'm just kidding.
Yeah, like y'all unhinges Ted Bundy. Like it be on a different level.
Now, I want to talk about that. So,
Mm,
just as a little sub bullet point, it's interesting
mhm,
because it's like as a man, how where like I've had a relationship. And I actually, so Ghost with Me is about this past relationship. And I
mhm,
have an album inspired by my whole life and past relationships, but a lot of it is definitely inspired by this past relationship. I could have loved better. He could have loved better.
mhm,
Will I think like I want true love
mhm.
and like are we
Like, how
just
do you
gonna
get there?
yeah, like as two men. And it works out. Some guys have beautiful relationships, and I look up to that. But that is a challenge. Like
Mhm,
being and then not only am I attracted to this species we're talking about,
mhm,
I am one. So like I
mhm,
make my mistakes. I'm not like unhinged or crazy, but it's like, what if
mhm.
I talk from my ego a little bit? It's just like so I can't wait. I've been trying to soften myself and not judge and like not
Mhm,
I think like not judging is the first step to just seeing someone else as just another person,
mhm. I think I
like this
agree with you 100%. I truly do. I think even in my era where I am now, I am a self-proclaimed, or not even self-proclaimed, but people tell me that I am a man hater, and I always tell them that I love men. I'm just gonna call men out on their shit. So I think that you make a valid point, and I've never thought about this, and I love this point. It's like, how does it work when these two masculine energies duke it out for their masculinity? And I was on a podcast, and I actually have to redo it recently for my statement that I'm not dating black men, and people were up in arms. People were up in arms. And I said, once again, I love black men. I wanted to have black men, right? Before, like, I don't want to have kids anymore, but like when I did, I wanted to have black men and raise them. And if you ask my friends, I was like, I want boys. Like, I don't want girls. I want boys. I'm gonna be the best soccer mom, the best baseball mom. Like, we're gonna have so much fun. Um, but I was talking about the current dating sphere right now. And I think in that space we can both kind of align there is that the current dating sphere is just really hard to navigate because so many people want to be dominant and dominant and dominant and you're not going to hurt me and I'm going to one up you and all of these things. And we, as a community in general, as a Black community, aren't healing. And to kind of bring it back to Doechii, I think that's one of the reasons why we like her music so much is that you can see her. There's another artist that I love, Jessie Reyez. You can see both of them healing through their music, like being able to get it out and scream it out. Like you talked about the song Crazy, where it's most of her just screaming, like being able to get that out of our systems and really truly heal and understand what it is we're looking for, whether that means that we're looking in our same sex or if we're looking in our same race or if we're looking in our same ethnicity, fully sitting down and asking us what do we need to be in a successful relationship and not and then also not blaming someone else for not being what we need. And if someone has a boundary, respecting it. If someone has a standard, respecting it. And realizing that it doesn't mean rejection to you. It just means that this person saw early on that that wasn't going to work out and they're saving you time. Like, why get into a relationship that you know from the moment you started that it's probably not going to work out because if your like morals don't align and what you value doesn't align. We do that so many times, and then we look in a relationship and we're like, "Oh my gosh, how do we get here?" And it's also because people will criticize you and say you're too picky or you're too this or you're too that when you know what you want. And if you know what you want, you might be single longer, but I guarantee you when you find your person, you will find your person.
Your person. Blake, I love it. So, and everybody has their own preferences. And I think preferences are
Mhm,
beautiful, actually. Because if we all wanted the same
mhm,
thing, I don't think there would be as many people. So, um,
mm-mm,
I will. I'm really enjoying this conversation. I don't want to, get too much off topic. Doechii is,
mhm,
I think, so my word this year is belief. I was talking to a business
mhm,
coach, and her name is Erica Monet Group, and I was telling her my word this year is believe because in order to make it, you have to be consistent. But
mhm,
in my opinion, I believe that belief is the battery that you need to keep going and not keep going as an energizer. I'm just kidding. Keep going as in,
mhm,
just like moving, like,
mhm,
I've been posting on social media. It'll be a year in May. I miss my days,
mhm,
but basically it's every day. Belief
mhm,
has fueled me to do that. So now when I post, sometimes I get 0 views, sometimes I get 1,000 views like within 10 minutes. One time I got the most I've gotten is 18,000. No, 17.8 thousand views. It was on a video of me dancing to a little Beyoncé song, actually. Being sexy, like not even sexy. It was at a festival. So just being a little classy, just moving around.
yeah,
It was a lot. It was a lot of fun. I love what I do. And she was telling me about how in belief, you have to be aligned. And I
mhm,
think to be aligned, so we got belief, align. I think to be aligned, you have to be authentic. If
mhm,
we if one of us are not being authentic, which may
mhm,
bleed into the relationship, we're gonna go separate,
mhm,
something's gonna happen.
mhm.
It's important to tell the truth, to be who you are. Like I love what you have to say about that.
Thank you. But yeah, so back to Doechii, I think that's one of the reasons why a lot of people are feeling her because what you said, belief is alignment. And alignment is where you're going to where you're going to reach your goals and into authenticity. And I think that that is what Doechii is displaying is she's not pretending to be, she's not playing into the hand of female rap. She is truly being authentic and that is what we're vibing for because we as a consumer just want authenticity now after we've had a decade of all this kind of fakeness. We would just want to go back to people being who they are. Hopping off of this topic and into our last topic for the pop culture roundup is the Shia LaBeouf spin out. This man went to Mardi Gras and decided he was about to do his big one and just go insane. Have you seen this stuff?
I've seen a clip. Shy,
Oh
what's
my
going on?
gosh. Honestly, though, we should have listened when FKA Twigs said it, we should listen to black women when black women say shit. I'm just gonna say, black, even back to Kamala. Kamala told us what the fuck we was gonna end up, and we're here. We ain't want to listen to black women, so now we're, you know what I mean? We should listen to black women when black women say it. And FK Twigs came out and she told us what it was like dating Shia LaBeouf, and she told us the abusiveness that she experienced in him and his behavior and the physicality and the emotionality of these things, and we didn't listen. And not to play things, but we give I just talked about this on a recapped episode. We give toxic men too many chances, specifically when they're white. Ooh, we give white toxic men too many fucking and I mean we as a person, people, and we as a society, both, right? Too many motherfucking chances. You mean to tell me that I'm gonna throw another name in here real quick. Zara oh my gosh, Zara Larson. I was
Larson?
about to like, what the fuck is her name? Is yeah, 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 yeah. I was like, "What the fuck?" I couldn't think of it for a second. She just came out with a clip, and the question was, "Whose music will you not find in your playlist?" And the way that I loved her response was beautiful. She said, you won't find a lot of people in my playlist. There are a lot of people that I kept out because they're abusers. Name one, Chris Brown. You won't find him in my music." And I was like, "Oh, I might buy every single album that you have now." Um, because like we give these men too many chances. We make excuses for their behavior, and then they have like random spin outs, like Shia LaBeouf is having or was having or whatever, where he's with his now estranged wife Mia Goth. They're out in Mardi Gras. He gets into a altercation with a guy. He headbutts this guy. Then he gets his ass beat because it's let him be black. First of all, black people know you do not egg on a group of people when you are the only one. That's stupid. That's a way to get jumped. Won't
And
do
we
it.
don't even
Wouldn't be
check
us.
sounds in our house. When we hear a strange sound, we don't check that. I'm just
Right. We're just like, if it's gonna get me, it's gonna get me. Um, but like he engages in this behavior, then he goes to jail, he gets out, he starts spinning out, he's doing drugs, he's causing chaos. He is just a menace. And I didn't even want to talk about him, but I just kept seeing clips. Cause I don't like talking about people when they have like mental spiral outs. I don't think it's fair. What was his name? The young black male who did the country song, not Jabuzi, the other one.
Lil Nas X.
Little Nas X, yes. When he had his spin out, and he was walking in the streets naked, I'm not talking about it. I'm not talking about it because, a lot of people like to say protect black men and protect black men's mental health and protect men's mental health. And people think that I don't give a shit about it because I'm calling people out, but I really, truly actually do. And I don't think that we should talk about someone why they're having a spiral out because we don't know the triggers that are going on behind this. And these people have high stress jobs where burning out and having a breakdown is common. Fortunately, his was shown on a bigger screen, but it's still common. I'm Shia LaBeouf is different. We were warned about him. We didn't listen to him, and now he's out in the streets being a menace again.
It's second chances is an interesting topic.
Mhm.
That is a whole interesting topic. Now, I have a cutoff. Like my
Mhm.
cutoff is like R. Kelly. Or
Mhm.
even there's certain names that I just really don't want to name right now, but we all are talking about it and they have
Mhm.
huge influence in like everything and government officials and celebrities. I think you know what I mean.
Mhm.
So like anything this person has for me, I'm good. Now, unfortunately, they controlled a lot. And I don't think, I'm not like, shut the system down, blah, 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 blah. It's just like,
Mhm.
how do we get good people into leadership positions? Like, someone does need to fill the celebrity role. Someone does need to fulfill the controller role where they are plugging military with this, big company brand with that. Like, we need that, but
Mhm.
it's like, do y'all have to does it have to be this dark thing? Like, does it always have to be this dark thing?
I
Shia
think
LaBeouf
it's
I'm so sorry, Blake.
No, go ahead.
I think, and okay, so that's just about like decisions and industry and behavior. Shia LaBeouf, I feel so bad. He like at some point he was attractive. Oops. But that now it's
Mhm,
like, dude, you could have treated FKA so much better. And FKA, I love that woman
mhm.
is an artist. You could never. Oh, I love FKA. Like she's such a great artist. Like she is art. So like damn, you like dropped the bag. Like FK and she's gorgeous like and
Mhm.
then for you to like be violent, like I don't believe in violence. If we're that mad, one of us probably just needs to walk away. Why are you headbutting
Yeah.
people? Like
It just it once again, it just goes to show that we are not holding these people accountable. Um, and we as a society aren't holding men specifically accountable, and we need to do a better job of it because when we let things go unchecked, we're not only doing a disservice to us, we're doing a disservice to these people because clearly what Shia LaBeouf needs is help. And until we hold him accountable for his actions, he can't get that, you know?
does that
So
mean
we're gonna
does that
go
mean
ahead.
cancel or does that mean
No, I am so not a big proponent of cancel culture. I think that sometimes it can be helpful and sometimes it needs to happen. I think cancel culture, I, we definitely cancel the wrong people. We cancel people for something that they said 20 years ago instead of canceling people for what they did 2 days ago, which is just wild take. But I think holding him accountable doesn't always have to affect his pockets, but like who are the people in your life that are letting you get away with this? Who are the people that are spinning out? Or is anybody there making you look at a mirror of yourself? What is your PR team doing? What are your agents doing? What is your manager doing? Things like that. Obviously holding someone accountable has to come on a more personal level. So, for instance, I can only hold my friends accountable, right? I can talk about it on a big screen and I could talk about celebrities that I see are doing wrong, but on a real life accountability level to affect change, I can only hold the people in my life accountable. And it is my mission to speak. One of my missions to speak to empower other people to hold the people in their lives accountable. But I think that that's where he just needs to be held accountable for his actions. And if that comes from the law, we that's something that we doesn't happen as much anymore, that the law isn't holding people accountable. It's a system and it's flawed. But we're gonna skip our little petty facts because we're gonna start talking about you more now. Indie authors are out here building worlds, breaking rules, and telling stories you won't find on the bestsellers list. And not only can indie authors do it just as good as published authors, but they can often do it better. On Indie Ink Podcast, we interview indie authors every month about their books, their process, and what keeps them going when no one's watching.
One of the best pieces of advice I received, once you start getting negative reviews, it means that your book is reaching outside of your target audience. And when she said that, I thought that was such a wonderful way to look at it.
Jean-Paul Sartre, who's French, with No Exit says that hell is other people. Like, to be in hell is to be like with other people. The thesis of this book, or like what I thought about when I thought about like what would be like the ultimate hell for me personally.
If you love stories behind the stories, this podcast is for you. Check out Indie Ink Podcast wherever you listen to podcasts. Quick pause, because if you love dark stories that don't flinch, Olympic War isn't a soft love story. It's violent, it's chosen, and it costs everything. Through war, betrayal, and survival, Moonstone fights for devotion that refuses to die. This is a Black, multicultural dystopian series about power, sacrifice, and what rises from the ashes. Olympic War and Phoenix War. Read them wherever books are sold. So you were talking earlier about how you do marketing and you do music at the same time. And I think both of those are beautiful because they feed into each other. Music is marketing and marketing is music. So how did you get into, we'll do marketing. How did you get into marketing first?
always loved advertisements. Always. I've
Mm-hmm.
always paid attention to signs. One thing for sure is like how they always made subjects in billboard, like advertisers would make subjects in billboards make it look like they're staring at you. It would scare me. Big eyes used to freak me out, even though I have big eyes, like like
Big
Big
eyes freak me
Bird.
the frick out all the time.
So you get it. But
Mhm.
I was always paying attention.
Yeah.
And with music, I've always wanted to do music. Music is in my blood. My dad did music. My mom did. My brother, he does film right now. He does. He's a director. He's building his way up to be a director. He just started his own
Mhm.
post production company, and but he played piano and drums when he was younger. But I got into marketing seriously. I chose to follow something that I love, that's a professional skill that can make me money.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
and so I told my dad when I was I always knew I wanted to do music, but I told my dad when I was in college, I'm like, "Dad, I want to do music. Like I just know I want to do music."
Mhm.
He's like, "I know and you should, but you're going to need a professional skill."
Mhm.
He told me that kind of when I first started college. When I closer to graduation, he was telling me about how I need to be an entrepreneur and the
Mhm.
importance building up my own business and building up my own brand. So
Mhm.
really, my dad inspired me to become an entrepreneur and make my marketing skill its own business. And
Mhm.
hey, I make my own merch. Well, I made the design. These are my song lyrics. You got me lost in space. And
Love that.
thank you. My stepdad, my mom got remarried. My stepdad
Mhm.
makes merch and he has a shop in Detroit. So, um, I make my own flyers. I made my own banners.
Mhm.
I do it. I post on social media. So I love my life. I can't wait for things to click even more. But that's why I believe and
Mhm.
I'm consistent, hoping things could just pop off.
Mhm. I resonate with that a lot. I am also a creative. I've been creative kind of my whole life. My original so I'm a psychology major and I love psychology. But before that I was a film major. I went to college to study film. And in the process of that, I realized that as much as I love film, I didn't want to do it as a career because of the industry. I've always been very aware of what the industry looked like and what I wanted my life to look like and what sacrifices I did and didn't need to make to get there. Um, but when I wrote my first book, that's when things kind of changed for me and my whole life pivoted. And it has definitely been one of the most difficult journeys in my whole life. But I also, realized I needed to have skill. So I have my business where I sell holistic teas and I sell holistic candles and I have the podcast that will kind of be more of the business thing so that I can live my life through my books and create and not have to, worry and hopefully all of those things blend together. But that's also, marketing, right? I also do all my own flyers. I do all my own graphics. I've done all of my own book covers. Um, and that's something that as an individual creative, while you're still building, while you're still growing, those are skill sets that you have to teach yourself or have someone be able to help you navigate through.
You know it, and I might hold on. I might have to be a customer. Oh, hold on now. Wow.
I teach myself things when someone tells me I can't do it or when a door closes, usually. Now sometimes I get into my own headspace and then it's a different story. But when someone tells me I can't do something or a door closes, when there's an opportunity and there's just one more thing I need to do, I'll teach myself. Right now, grammar is my big area in writing that I need work from. And right now I'm listening to an audiobook on grammar. I have a class on Udemy that I want to take on opening a cafe. Like if I'm going to do it, I'm going to learn how to do it. Is that kind of how you got into your own marketing and your own music was kind of like it's hard to fund this life. There's a lot of money that you have to use that people don't really know where it's going, and people think that it's easy, but it's like, for instance, I have a mic, but what I really want is a mic stand. So I have to get the funding to get a mic stand so I can have this, sit closer and then upgrade and, marketing. Eventually I want to have someone who does my marketing for me so I can sit back and relax. You know what? But is that how you got into it? Is it because you needed to do it yourself? Or was it just like, this is just another subset of what I love?
Honestly, it's another subset of what I love. That's a really good question too. And I mention money because I mention money because that's the point of business is growth. However, if it were not for music, my life would just be gone from being in front of the computer. Like I nerd out about computers. I nerd out about music equipment. So my business is First Hill Marketing. And
Yeah,
I
plug
thought
that.
it was okay. Thank you for letting me plug it too. And when I first started college, I knew I loved music, and I knew I loved like business and growth and advertisements and billboards and commercials. But I'm a fiend for roller coasters. Fiend. I'm itching. Like the other day, I'm like, this winter's lasting too long. I need to be 300, 400 feet in the air. Like, so,
Cedar Point season is coming up.
okay. So I named my business after something I love. Instead of my first or last name, I named it First Hill Marketing because I love the first hill of a roller coaster. I love the first hill of roller coasters. And I help my clients climb their first hill of marketing. And this
Oh,
is
he
my
said I
logo.
got both. I love
So
your logo.
thank you, Blake. Even it looks like a roller coaster. You got the hill going up and the supports.
I love your logo. I think that to me, the name, although I would have not have like aligned it with a roller coaster, to me, it would have been if I'm starting out. No, I love the alignment, but if I'm starting out, because this journey is a roller coaster for sure. If I'm starting out, first hill to me says that my first steps, like when you're a baby and you're first starting to crawl and you're really looking to take your brand, your business, your whatever to the next step. First hill marketing is ingenious name. Like I would pick it just because I'd be like, oh, he gets it. Like this is my beginning. He understands.
Like so I'm passionate about marketing and websites and content. That's another thing. I watched social media way more than TV. So like people are like, "Do you know this movie? That movie?" I'm like, "No, but I know this meme and it's hilarious. Watch it." So and that's another thing that goes into my love for marketing. But I get so emotional about both. Definitely about music. But I believe I believe so much. And I believe so much that I even have very clear goals. My goal for First Hill Marketing is to sell 5 monthly social media retainers, and I have a team. I have a virtual assistant. My sister-in-law is is the graphic designer, and I have I have a guy in India who wants to do a website really bad. And here's the thing. I'm so glad I have him because so many people were like, "Oh my gosh, blah 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 about outsourcing your website." Well, now I have 2 arguments. One is that everybody outsources. Apple outsources to Samsung. Like,
Yeah.
and
If you and Samsung outsources to Apple, if you want to, here's the thing I tell people all the time. If you want to be a big brand, you have to operate as a big brand. Now you don't have to, you can keep your morals and integrity in a certain way, but if you want to be at a big brand, you have to start studying what they're doing and start doing it as well.
round of applause. So, Blake, I'm so glad that we're vibing, and thank you for your kind words. I mean, so seriously, I'm just blessed to know that it will click. So 5 social media retainers, and then monthly, and then for Duracell, I want to complete an album this year. Release the singles this year, but launch the crap out of it in 2027. But like you said, I never want to sell First Hill Marketing ever. I want to build one of those just long lasting, high quality legacy businesses.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm only one shell. And I don't have 8 arms. I only have 2. So,
Mm-hmm.
and thank God for, uh,
Like, yeah.
la like, so with what I have, like,
Mm-hmm.
I have to make the most of it, but I believe for you even just giving me those kind words, that charges me up, seriously.
I love, I thought about when my podcast grows and would I go to make, having bigger time guests on here. And I was like, no, I want to always provide a place for people who need their voices to be heard. But I did want to, you're talking about music and we're talking about big companies. And one of the big conversations around marketing, around creative and everything like that is AI. And so where's your stance on that? Ooh.
Blake, you are awesome. This podcast, I love this. So,
Mm-hmm.
I think there are very I feel like sacred and morality kind of mean the same thing because
Mm-hmm.
to me, like sacred arts is like a full body of art. So like a
Mm-hmm.
song, an album, a movie.
Mm-hmm.
But now when I start to say, I use AI for advertising. I
Me too.
don't use it, I use it for my social media captions. It's definitely a way to scale your business, but I think it should be used for functionality in
Mm-hmm.
advertising
Mm-hmm.
versus like a sacred art. So actually, for example, I want to just show you something really quick. I'm having so much fun, Blake. So my cover art is this.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. I don't know how to fast forward on the computer, but
It's
it's this beautiful.
I can
So
see it,
actually,
yeah.
this is AI.
Mhm.
No, I had AI make this. I think I put in the lyrics, but the song Red Sea, I released it on Valentine's Day this year. The song is not AI. I recorded everything. The guitar is me. The vocals are me. The
Mm-hmm.
lyrics are all me. And even the cover art. I went to my I had some space. Had a photographer come out and meet me. I laid down this 6x6 blue tarp or blue material. Had rose
Mm-hmm.
petals, and
Mm-hmm.
had the body yada yada. And so it's funny because this is a cover art.
Mm-hmm.
That is another sacred art to me. Yes, I did use AI for the caption in
For
this.
the right.
I feel like
I
it's good. I'm sorry, Blake. Mhm.
No, I 100% agree with you. My first snafu, so I wrote my first book. And when I decided that I wanted to make it actually, like I wanted to publish it, I was very intimidated by the act of creating a book cover. And I reached out to my brother who was like a legit graphic designer, right? Studied it. He has his master's, like legit. I he he's my brother. So the problem is that family stuff. So when I was like, "Can you do this?" He's like, "Yeah, yeah, 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 yeah." Never did it. So I didn't. Once again, when I reach a hump in the hill, when I reach a block in the road, I'm just going to find a way. So back then, this was before we were having conversations around AI. I had AI generate an image for me, and I designed around that and add my own design elements. Recently, I have made the decision to redesign those books. So those covers, I don't even want to discuss how me and places have been fighting just to get those covers to everybody else, but the covers are redesigned. But I have always been a proponent that you shouldn't use AI to write a story. You shouldn't use AI to make a song. You shouldn't use AI to, like you said, practice in the sacred arts. But fighting AI in general is stupid. It's like fighting computers or fighting the updates of your Samsung or your iPhones. Like that's dumb. It's going to happen whether you like it or not. Like legitimately, the way we feel about AI is the way that people felt about computers back in the day. And people are being incentivized to continue fighting AI, and they're just like egging each other on. And what they don't realize is that what we need is not to fight it, but to fight for regulation and for fight for ways that we can and, could and should and shouldn't use it. And I agree, like as a small business owner, as a indie author, as an indie podcaster, again, I have to compete at a level that is way above me. I have to treat my podcast at a level that is way above me. So best believe I'm studying other posts that podcasters are making. I'm studying other videos that podcasts are making, and I'm paying attention. I'm studying other topics that podcasts are doing. I'm paying attention, but they have an entire team behind them. And one day I will have an entire team behind me. But until then, I need a way to replicate an entire team. And the people that benefit a lot from AI, big companies benefit from it a lot, but small creatives, people of color creatives, those are the people who are benefiting from the most, because the doors that were closed to us because we didn't have access to certain materials, marketing, script for like talking on a camera to make a social media video, learning how to, those things we stopped at. And I've always said, I'm never going to boycott someone's book that they use for AI to create, because you don't know why they needed to use it. You don't know if they didn't have a single dollar to give. And if they don't have a single dollar to give, but they need this thing so that their art can be out there for people to see, I'm never going to penalize somebody from that, because what happens is when they get more money, when we give them a voice, when we promote them, then they'll have funds. And I just saw this on Threads today. Someone used, he created a graphic, or he used AI for his first graphic, and then he paid somebody else to use it. And even the person that he paid used AI, because a lot of people, they hype themselves up, and they don't realize that graphic designers are using AI as well. Like, that's the funny part. Y'all get so mad about AI, and you're like, you should pay a graphic designer, and graphic designers are using AI as well. And I'm giving you the inside scoop because my brother, again, masters in it. So we get this hype, and then someone comes on Threads, and this is what I love about the community. Someone comes on Threads, was like, here's what I did in 20 minutes for you for a thing. And it's, once again, we can't gatekeep people reaching the top. And that's what's happening a lot in our world. That's what's happening a lot in music, right? We have, like Rust. We have, what's his name that made, Thrift Shop? Macklemore.
Yep.
We have these people who have fought tooth and nail to remain indie authors, indie artists, so that they don't have to get controlled by companies, and they get to keep their authenticity of their voice and their music and everything like that. We have to have ways to raise these people up to get to it as well. We can't just keep gatekeeping it, be like, you got to have a production team, you got to have a producer, you got to have all of this. No, you don't. Now you don't. And that's what people hate the most. Not that someone's using a book, AI to write a book or AI to make a song. What people are hating the most is that now anybody can make it. And it makes them feel insignificant in themselves because they've been gatekeeping it. And I will argue, you pay attention to the demographic that complains the most about AI. Which demographic do you think it is?
Say it ain't so.
It's white women. It's actually white women that complain the most about AI. Now,
What?
Ask me why.
Why?
It's because women are obviously a minority, and it's already hard for them. Specifically, I don't know about the full community, but I will talk specifically about the author community. It's hard for them to get there, and some of these people are high up, and they've gotten there, and they feel threatened because a lot of these people have husbands who have jobs that help fund their, we don't talk about that enough, how a lot of authors that are females that we saw that made it had husbands who had jobs that could help them get there, that could help them, and they probably work jobs as well, but most of them had a team to help them get there. And one of the things that we're taught when we make it is that it takes 5 seconds for someone to replace us, which isn't true, right? We could all promote each other, and there's so much room at the top, but they're so afraid of their voices being insignificant in comparison. And the reason why Black men and Black women aren't as afraid as AI as everybody else is, one, it gives them advantage in a world that sets them up for failure. And two, we're used to our voices being stolen. Like, what do you mean? Y'all are complaining about it now. Think about all the creations and inventions and art that you give credit to other people while we're still in Black History Month, mind you, that get credit to other people. We're used to our voices being stolen. We're using AI to fight back, to keep our voice. Meanwhile, non-people of color have been stealing people's voices for a long time. That's why they're afraid. Now what you are afraid of happening what you've done to other people is happening to you, and they don't like it.
That is insane. Did not expect that demographic. I
Mhm.
expected like maybe older black people, just more because of skepticism, but wow,
Mhm.
I
I mean,
didn't know that.
obviously there are older people, but honestly, no. Older people love AI. They love that. Oh, let me tell you, the way that my mom uses AI is criminal. My mom got me using AI more, not the other way around. My mom still gets frustrated when Hulu doesn't show her the shows that she's currently watching first, and she has to scroll down to get to the show she's currently watching. She still gets pissed off about that. But oh, she was like, "Oh, you can use AI to do this, and you should use AI to do this." When I was, because I've just recently, I'm filing for bankruptcy or whatever, and when we were talking about selling my house, she used AI to help figure out what my house was worth, who I could reach out to. She used AI to help me find bankruptcy lawyers because it compared them and gave you a concise list. Like, oh, old people love AI. They think it's like they've been struggling with technology for forever, and AI is just like their little chat box answer. They love that shit.
Like
No,
a
it's
little
it's
FBI agent.
it's yeah, but I mean, but they're also from the age they've also had to adapt to so many changes, right? They had to adapt to TV changing. They're not records. They're on tape. Now they're not tapes. They're on CDs. Now they're not CDs. They're on MP3. Like they've had to adapt so much. And I would say millennials have had to adapt as well, but we didn't have to adapt as much. And Gen Zers definitely didn't have to adapt nowhere near as much. They got born and raised off of social medias and computers and everything. And this is their first time realizing that something can become irrelevant. And I'm just like, ooh,
We're traumatized our first time. Give us a second. Hold on.
yeah, I'm like,
Just
I'm like, ooh, honey child, like, and if you again, we were talking about like alignment and believe, right? If you believe and have trust in it, we all know that the purest shines through at the end of the day, right? Look at the resurgence of records. There's record stores all over now. One of my coworkers just bought a record player and he's in love with it. He got speakers for it. He has this whole system. Like I have a record player myself because I'm a purist. I may not listen to the records everybody wants me to listen to, but there's something beautiful about listening to a song on a record player. Purism will always win these things that are just kind of popping up. They're not gonna go through. For instance, there's AI voices doing audiobooks. Let me tell you, as a person who listened to some of them, I'm up here. I want to hear a person's voice. You're being afraid of this, but what people are always going to crave is authenticity, bringing the whole thing around. And I think that, talking about the marketing world, believe it or not, AI can help you with keeping your authenticity. People don't think they can, but we're human and sometimes our voices change or don't change, but we need to keep that authentic voice in us and our moods may shift. But you know what? If you give AI what your authentic voice is, what you want your material to come out, who you're trying to reach, even when your brain is fried and you can't, think, AI is like, okay, I got you. Here's a post in your voice and the tone that you said because this is who you are. Oh, wait, you didn't even set this tone, but you've been giving me all this information. Here's it. It's just like you. So when you can't show up authentically for yourself, you have someone to have your back. I'm sorry, I got super long winded. I apologize.
no, I love it. I so agree, and it's all so true. And things change. I think COVID and AI were my biggest, like, huge, just big worldwide adaption shocks.
Hmm.
And I agree. I think that you should use it like a calculator. We even get to use calculators on some tests when we were younger. So
Yeah,
like it's
it's a tool.
you got it, Blake. It's a tool.
It's only meant to be used as a tool. And when we add regulations to it, then we can get to really see it for the potential as it is as a tool. It is never meant to replicate real voices. It's never going to do that. I've read an author's book that I'm sure AI wrote parts of it because there's just a lack of their own voice in it. And you can tell when an author or, going back to me talking about Beyonce, I
Yeah.
could tell when her
Mm,
songs felt more authentic, right? When they
mhm.
really connected and she was giving her all. And, even one of my favorite singers, Neo. There's a period where Neo was giving his whole it's not anymore. No. Neo not giving you his whole soul anymore. He got 7 kids. He trying to make money. But there was a period where you could tell Neo was giving his whole soul, and now you can tell he's not. You don't think that people can tell that in books? AI, a computer can never replicate a soul.
You said it. You literally hit the nail on the head. AI cannot replace a soul, and a soul is also attached to a warm body. So there's so much to say about this, to be honest. But I think that using AI to make this incubator of souls better. All right. If that means that I can easily make a few posts without having to inconvenience someone else, whether I'm paying them or not, like Blake, you have wonderful insights. I love your observations.
Thank you.
And this was I love this. This is a great podcast.
Well, thank you. I'm me and the podcast, we working, we trying. We getting up there hopefully soon one day. I got some fun stuff planned in the works. I like to keep it interesting. Oh, ooh, I got some fun stuff planned.
I can't wait.
I got some fun stuff planned. But I'm just so happy. I am genuinely just so happy every time someone says, I want to be on your pod. Like that means I'm just a little baby podcast. And it means so much to me anytime someone's like, yeah, I would love to be on your podcast. And I'm like, what do you mean? It makes me so happy and getting to speak to people. And I'm not just saying this because it sounds nice. Like you can check the sources. I have a whole indie author bookstore because I really truly just want to help elevate voices, and I've been actually feeling so anxious about that because I haven't been doing it justice, but I don't have the bandwidth for it right now, and I want to get back to that one day. Um, but being able to help elevate people's voices it's something I've been raised on. In the islands, we really care about Kwanzaa. Kwanzaa is a huge thing. And I think more people should do research into those principles and to not getting full into the like Pan-African thing, because the Pan-African thing could be way too much, but just really thinking about those principles of cooperative economics, collective work and responsibility, the belief that we are our community and it is our job to help uplift and bring up the community. I 100% believe that. I don't think that we should gatekeep secrets. I don't think that we should exist in fear. I think that we should always be trying to promote voices and giving an opportunity for other people to be seen. It's not something I want money for. It's not something I want accolades for. It's just something that I want to do. And also, I love to talk. I love sharing my opinion. So it's just like a benefit.
It is so valued, appreciated, and valuable. This was awesome. Basically Unbothered. This was awesome.
Thank you. Well, before we close out, tell us where we can find you, what next projects you have going on. I know you have a couple things in the work. Drop all the details. Let everybody know.
All the deets.
All the deets. All the deets.
So going back to the tea, y'all, I am, you can find me on Duracell.com, Durracell.com. And you can find me if you search Duracell Detroit, Duracell Music, you will be able to find me, and I'm on all the platforms. Next project, I'll still be performing. I got circus sessions. That one is this Saturday, the 28th, but I'll have another one in April and another one in June. And my goal this year is to start playing more fully original sets and to write an album so that I can really tell my story.
You have to, okay, little secret. I have written a song a long time ago. I was a teenager. It's a terrible song. You will never hear it. But I'm a writer. I love writing. I've always wanted to be in like the room where it happens when people are songwriting and getting in the booth and singing their songs. So you have to invite me to a session because I've been wanting to see the behind the scenes for so long.
Oh, I would love that. And you can even feel free to please get content and
I'm always making content.
You You are a wonderful podcast host, wonderful person.
Thank you.
I and yes, I know this is your podcast, your interview.
Mhm.
What lights you up? What's your word this year? Tell me a fun fact about you.
You know what? When you said what your word was, which is believe, I think that my word this year is authenticity. I have had so many different periods in my life where I have become what I think people wanted me to be. Even getting my house, I used to say I never wanted a house, but then I was like, oh, I'm 30 and I love decorating. And I didn't think it through of like, maybe I should just get a condo instead. Like, but and for fairness, I love my house. I settled a lot in it. And when I lived in Jackson, and when I lived in Jackson, I sacrificed a lot of who I was. And I didn't realize it at the time, and now I do. So being able to be my authentic self, and that means that like I'm a little bohemian, but I'm also a little punk, but I'm also a little like being able to not put myself in a box. A little fun fact about me. That's interesting. I don't know. I tell to people so much. Let me think. That's hard. Oh, I like to consider myself a walking dichotomy. Everything that like, if you put me in a box and you think that there's something that I won't like. For instance, a lot of people see my more holistic side and calmer, and they're like, she doesn't like sports. I love sports. Just so everybody knows. I love sports. What do you mean? I'm bidding to get to a hockey game because I'm not even big into hockey, but I'm trying to get into it just to, see. I love anime. I think that's it. The biggest thing is I'm a huge nerd. I am a huge nerd. I have many different nerdums on May the 4th be with you. I watch all the Star Wars. For Halloween, I watch all the Harry Potters. I'm a huge freaking nerd. People have always judged me from my name down to the way that I look. And this year I'm just like, fuck it, I can only be me. I'm already highly medicated and crazy. Like y'all just gonna have to get what you get at this point. But honestly, a lot of people don't ask me about myself because it is my podcast and I'm here to highlight people. So I appreciate the question. All right. Is there one last thing that you want to say to people about music, about marketing, about whatever before we sign off?
This is Duracell. I'm blessed to be on the Basically Unbothered podcast. Keep believing, keep being authentic, and that is how you will stay aligned. Thank you so much, Blake.
Thank you. All right. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Pure Tea Podcast.